Hello children. Let's revise the theory of chapter Work, Energy and Power. What is work? Work is defined as dot product of force and displacement. Here, the displacement should be that of point of application of force. Work is a scalar quantity, but it can be positive as well as negative. Its SI unit is joule, or Newton meter. Its CGS unit is erg. What is energy? Energy is the capacity to do work. Energy has different forms like kinetic energy, potential energy, chemical energy, etc. Energy has same SI unit as work, that is joule or Newton meter. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be changed from one form to another. What is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is the energy possessed by a particle. Its value is given by k equal to half of mass into velocity square. What is work, energy theorem? According to work-energy theorem, the net work done by all the forces on a system of particles is equal to change in kinetic energy of that system. What is conservative force? The work done by a conservative force is independent of the path taken by the particle or object on which the force is applied. Work done by conservative force only depends on its initial and final position. Work done by a conservative force is zero for motion in a complete loop. And, most importantly, there is a potential energy associated with every conservative force, and change in potential energy is equal to negative of work done by conservative force. What is non-conservative force? Non-conservative force have no potential energy associated with them, and their work can be dependent on path taken. Examples of non-conservative forces are friction, tension, normal reaction, muscular forces, etc. The total work done by non-conservative forces is equal to change in mechanical energy of the system. What is potential energy? Potential energy of a system is the energy possessed by the system due to shape, size, orientation and configuration of its particles. It changes due to work done by conservative forces on the system. Change in potential energy is equal to negative of work done by conservative force on a system. Its absolute value cannot be determined, so we must take a reference point of zero potential energy. What is conservation of mechanical energy? In absence of non-conservative forces, the total mechanical energy of a system remain conserved. This means the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy of a system remains constant as long as work done by non-conservative force is zero. What is conservation of energy? Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy may be transformed from one form to another, but the total energy of an isolated system remains constant. What is power? Power is defined as the rate at which work is done, or energy is transferred with time. The average power of a force is defined as the ratio of the work W to the total time taken T. Instantaneous power can be calculated by dot product of force and velocity. SI unit of power is watt or joule per second. Another common unit of power is horsepower, which is equal to 746 watt. What is collision? When two objects or particles interact with each other for a brief moment of time, and exchange energy and momentum with each other, the process is called collision. The total momentum of the system always remain conserved in a collision. although the kinetic energy of system may remain same or not. On the basis of kinetic energy, collisions can be classified as elastic, inelastic and completely inelastic collisions. What is head-on collision? If the velocities of colliding objects are parallel to line of impact during a collision, the collision is said to be head-on. These collisions are also called one-dimensional collision. What is oblique collision? Oblique collisions are two- or three-dimensional collisions. In such collisions, the velocities of colliding particles are not along the same line before or after the collision. Example is a cricket ball colliding with the ground, making an acute angle with it. What is elastic collision? If the total kinetic energy of colliding particles remain same before and after the collision, it is called elastic collision. In such collisions, the coefficient of restitution is equal to 1. Remember, the kinetic energy of colliding particles do convert to potential energy during the collision, but it converts back to kinetic energy before the collision is complete. What is inelastic collision? In these collisions, some kinetic energy of colliding particles is lost during the collision. Hence final K is less than initial K. The coefficient of restitution in such collisions is between 1 and 0. What is completely inelastic collision? In these collisions, the objects do not separate after the collision. Hence, the loss of kinetic energy is maximum. The coefficient of restitution is 0 for such collisions. What is theorem of conservation of linear momentum? In absence of external force, the total linear momentum of a system remain conserved. This consists all the collisions, explosions, and recoil of a gun. Thank you, children. Make sure you listen again and again, till you can write down all the definitions on your own. Goodbye.